The second requirement that is the tRNA. So tRNA, which is normally functions as an adapter molecule. So functions as a adapter molecule. So adapter molecule. So mainly the tRNA, which is going to be binds the amino acids. So binds the amino acids. So amino acid recognition and attachment of the amino acid to the tRNA. So mainly all the amino acids are, so mainly those are going to be attached to the acceptor arm of the tRNA. So that's why, so which is normally functions as here a adapter molecule. The tRNA functions as a adapter molecule. And next one, the third one is mRNA. So mRNA. So mRNA, so here mRNA means messenger RNA. M means messenger, T means transfer. Okay. So tRNA, transfer RNA, and mRNA means messenger RNA. So here after the transcription, so we are normally getting the mRNA strand. So we are normally getting the mRNA strand. And the polarity of the mRNA strand is 5' to 3'. The polarity is, so polarity of mRNA strand is 5' to 3'. So that is the polarity of the mRNA strand. And so in this mRNA strand, so mainly the information of the DNA, present in the form of codons on this mRNA. Okay. So how the mRNA produced means from the template strand of the DNA. So which means the template strand, from that normally we are getting this mRNA strand, and the information which is present in the DNA, that is normally present in the form of codons here. So for example, so here the codons are UUG and UUU. So UUG and UAA. So GUC, GUA. Okay. So for example, this is the sequence. And all these are the codons. So mainly the mRNA is normally having the start codon and stop codons. So what is the starting codon? The starting codon is AUG. So the AUG, so here this is the start codon. So the AUG, that is the start codon, which means the translation process begins. From the AUG site. The translation that is going to be begins from the AUG site, which means the RNA, the smaller RNA comes and bind. The small RNA that is normally recognizing this codon, and the small RNA subunit that is going to be bind on this AUG site. So here the AUG here that is going to be bind with the 30S subunit of the ribozyme. Okay. And so on this strand we also see the stop codons. What are the stop codons? UAA, UAG and UGA. So UAA, UGA and UAG. So all these are normally the stop codons. So here, so this is the stop codon. The stop codon. So mainly from this region to this region. So from AUG to UUG. So AUG to UUG. So this is the translation site. AUG to UUG. So this is the translation site, and here the stop codon is present, and that's why in this place the translation going to be ends. The translation process ends here. The process of translation that is going to be ending at the stop codon. The translation process going to be ends at the stop codon. Okay. So here the process is going to be ends here, and from the AUG to UUG. So this is the codons. These are the codons are normally involving in the synthesis of the proteins. So involving in the synthesis of the proteins. So only from this region to this region, that is normally involving in the process of translation. And so here after the stop codon also, so here we are having some of the codons. After the stop codon, so here we are having the codons GUC and GUA. So these codons are present, and here before the AUG. So before the AUG also here we are having the UUU and UUA. So UUU and UUA. So these codons are present. So here the codons which are present before the stop codon and after the stop codon. The codons which are present before the start codon and after the stop codon. Before the start codon and after the stop codon, these codons are called as the untranslated regions. Those are called as here untranslated regions, UTR, which means untranslated regions. So untranslated regions. So untranslated region, this is also UTR. So untranslated regions. So which means untranslated regions means these are not involving in the process of translation. So these are not participating in the process of the translation. So that's why we are calling it as the untranslated regions. And where does the untranslated regions are present? The untranslated regions are present before the start codon and after the stop codon. So before the start codon and after the stop codon, the untranslated regions are present. Okay. So these are normally we see in the mRNA strand. So mRNA polarity is 5 to 3N, and mRNA is normally having the start codon and stop codons, and also these are also having the UTR, untranslated regions. The mRNA that is also having the untranslated regions. Okay. And next one, the next requirement is amino acids. The fourth one, that is the amino acids. So total 20 amino acids. So 20 amino acids are required for the synthesis of the protein. So for the synthesis of the protein, so 20 amino acids are required. So 20 amino acids are required for the synthesis of the protein. So if we see the structure of the amino acid, the amino acid that is normally including the carboxyl group, COOH group, and a amine group and a R group. So R group, which is normally the alkyl group. R group or the alkyl group. So these are normally we seen in the structure of the amino acid. COOH, carboxyl group, amine group. So carboxyl group and amine group. And two amino acids are going to be joined with the. So this is normally amino acid, and this is the another amino acid. Okay. Both the amino acids are joined with a bond. So joined with a bond, and this bond we call it as the peptide bond or peptide bond. The amino acids are joined with a bond, that is the peptide bond. Peptide bond. So here with the help of this peptide bond, both the amino acids are going to be joined or binded. And so where does the peptide bond present? Where does the peptide bond present? So the peptide bond is present in between the carboxyl group and amino group. For example, so here, so amine group, and here the carboxyl group, and here the R group. Okay, and here this side another amino group, that is the, and here we see the carboxyl group, okay, and here the R group. So this is amino acid 1 and amino acid 2. So here the peptide bond, so this is the peptide bond. So the peptide bond is present in between the carboxyl group of first amino acid and the amino group of the second amino acid. So mainly the peptide bond is present in between the carboxyl group of the first amino acid and the amino group of the second amino acid. So mainly the peptide bond is present in between the carboxyl and the amine groups of the first and second amino acids. Okay, total 20 amino acids are required for the synthesis of proteins. And the next one is the enzymes. So very important enzymes here. So the enzymes here. So the first enzyme, that is the amino acid synthetase. So amino acid synthetase. So this is the enzyme. And the second one, that is the peptide transferase. So peptide transferase. So this is the second enzyme. So transferase, which is also called as ribozyme. So peptide transferase, that is also known as the ribozyme. And the third one is translocase. So translocase. So this is the third enzyme, and translocase enzyme involving in protein synthesis and chain elongation. So protein synthesis and chain elongation. Okay, so these are the enzymes: amino acid synthetase, peptide transferase and translocase. These are the enzymes which are required in the process of translation. And also, so the ATP and GTP. So adenosine triphosphate and guanosine triphosphate. So for the activation of amino acids, there is a requirement of energy, and that energy provided by the ATPs and the GTPs. Okay, and the seventh one is so activation factors. So activation factors. So the activation factors are so initiation factors. So initiation factors. So those are IF1, IF2 and IF3. So IF1, IF2 and IF3. And the second one is elongation factors. So elongation factors. And the third one is releasing factor. So releasing factors. So all these are normally required for the process of translation. Okay, ribozymes, tRNA, mRNA, amino acids and enzymes, ATP, GTP and some of the activation factors. All these are required for the process of translation. Okay, so in the next video, so we will see the process of translation. So before that, so first we have to know the activation of the amino acids.